Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to say thanks to our God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because His mercies and His blessings, so we can make this video as good as possible. Don't forget to say salam and salawat always be given to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has brought us from the darkness to the lightness. Okay, so we are from fourth group, and we will tell you about discourse and conversation. So before we start our material, our explanation, let me tell you all of the members of this group. The first speaker, it's me, and the second speaker is Nirwana, and then Nabila Nurika Amarta, and Nashuraira, and the last one is Nurainun Mapiwali. Okay, so I'm the first speaker, okay, and I will explain about issue in conversation analysis. Okay, so a key issue in conversation analysis is the view of ordinary conversation as the most basic form of talk, and conversation is the main way in which people come together and exchange information each other, and also make a social relation. So in a simple way, conversation analysis just focus on the analysis of the text for the argumentation and the explanation, rather than consideration of a psychological or the other factors that might be involved in the production and interpretation of the discourse. Okay, so that's the issue in conversation analysis. And next, we move to the second speaker. Screen is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, next I will explain about sequence and structure in conversation. The first, opening conversation. 1 hour conversational opening have been examined in detail is in the art of telephone. As a glove analyst, a larger data set of telephone openings to come up with the following canonical opening. Here's an example of opening an American private telephone. Recipient, hello. Caller, hi Ida. Recipient, yeah. Caller, hi, this is Carla. Recipient, hi Carla. Caller, how are you? Recipient, okay, how about you? Caller, I'm fine. Okay, the second, the closing. The closing is made up of 2 further units, such as bye-bye and goodbye. And the third, turn taking. How people take and manage turns in spoken interaction. There are a number of ways in which we can signal that we have come to the end of a turn. This may be through the completion of a synthetic unit, or it may be through the use filling intonation, the pausing. We may also end a unit with a signal such as or anyway. Next, 4. Adjacency pairs. Adjacency pairs are utterance produced by 2 successive speakers in a way that the second utterance is identified as related of the first one as an expected follow-up to that utterance. The following example, again from a radio call-in program, illustrates speakers using adjacency pairs in a typical and expected way. In each of the pairs of utterance in this interaction, the first speaker stops and allows the second speaker to produce the respective second part to the pair of utterance. Next, agency pairs across culture. It is important to point out that what is an expected follow-up to a seemingly everyday utterance in one language and culture might be quite different in another. Study of communication problems in a workplace setting between French and English speakers provides an example of this. Found that the French workers often responded to the everyday greeting, "Did you have a good weekend?" by stopping and telling the English-speaking workers all about their weekend. The English-speaking workers were irritated by this and did not realize that a French speaker would not ask this question if they did not want a real and complete answer. They did not realize further that this is not a typical question French speakers would ask each other in an everyday conversational situation, and even though they sometimes responded by telling them about their weekend, they also saw the question as an invasion of their privacy. Expected follow-up in the use of adjacency pairs then vary across language and culture. And the last, adjacency pairs and stage of the conversation. The particular context and stage of the conversation are especially important for assigning an utterance the status of a particular pair part. For example, hello can perform many different functions in a conversation. It can be a summons in a telephone call, and it can be a response to a summons in a telephone call. It can also be a way of greeting someone on the street, although clearly not the only way. An utterance such as thanks equally can be a response to a compliment, a congratulation, or a response to an offer of service. An utterance thus may play more than one role in a conversation. Okay, next I will explain about repair based on discourse and conversation. In conversation analysis, repair is the process by which a speaker recognizes a speech error and repeats what has been repaired: conversational repair, self-repair, linguistic repair, reparation, false start, accommodation, and restart. A linguistic repair may be marked by a hesitation, an editing term such as "I mean" and is sometimes regarded as type of displeasure. Okay, thank you.
And this is the chance for the third speakers. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, moderator, for the chance that has been given to me. I am Nabila Nurika Amarta from AG2. So right now, I will continue the explanation from my friends. I will tell you about discourse markers. Discourse markers are items in spoken discourse which act as signposts of discourse coherence. This includes interjection, such as "oh," conjunctions, such as "but," adverbs, such as "now," and lexical phrases, such as "no." They can be at the beginning, in the middle, or in the end of an utterance and can serve both as anaphoric or pointing back and cataphoric or pointing forward, reference in the discourse. So, "oh" can be a marker of information, management where it indicates an emotional state as in I will give you an example from a conversation. Jack: was that a serious picture? Freda: oh gosh, yes. I think something like that. So the O have in the beginning on the sentence. And the next is I will explain you about language and gender in discourse and conversation. Refers to the relationship between the language of male and female. Gender difference is not only a reflection of the speeches between male and female, but also a reflection of their different living style and attitude. Gender difference is a popular research in many fields, such as in psychology, in social linguistics, and in female study. In these fields, the differences between male and female in many aspects have been studied from different angles with different methodologies. Though research findings lay different emphasis on the differences, there are still some similarities between them. For instance, males are more concerned with power. They desire to be leaders, while females are satisfied with their subordinate status, and males speak directly and take transferring information as the first thing, but females speak indirectly, implicitly, and mildly. For example, in here, while male and female say a bad words, while female when female talks something bad or saying some bad words, people might be think, oh, she is a bad woman. But while a male says something bad or says a really bad word, people just think like it's okay because they're a male. I think that's from me. Thank you so much. Back to moderator.
The fourth speaker, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nas Pereira as the fourth speaker from the fourth group. Okay, here I will explain about conversation analysis and second language. Conversation introduction of discourse analysis as an academic subject is not stretched back in a centuries rather in only a few decades. Initially, the subject remained limited to the attention of the native speaker. Later, their attention shifted to the second language speaker as well. The non-native talk will, in the future, contribute a lot in the development of teaching methods and techniques. Though psychological analysis is not the mandate of discourse analysis, but attention, somehow or the other, will be drawn to this aspect to promote the second language acquisition. For example, show how conversation analysis can be used as a tool for analyzing and understanding the acquisition of a second language. He discussed the importance of looking at outlier data in a second language acquisition studies, points out that from a conversation analyst perspective, all participants' behavior makes a sense to the individuals involved and must be accounted for rather in the analysis. Next, about criticism of conversation analysis. The major criticism on conversation analysis is that when we analyze data from the conversation analysis perspective, we are working as spectators, not participants in the interaction. It is thus not really possible for us to know how the participants view the conversation unless we ask them. This is, to my mind, a misplaced criticism, as the entire conversational analysis is not only transcript analysis. Rather, in the modern era, the video recording facility will revolutionize the conversational analysis because the availability of real-time footage will make it possible to contextually analyze the discontextualized conversation. Hammersley's view is that conversation analysis could be more usefully combined with other qualitative and even quantitative approaches to discourse analysis to help us further understand how people use conversation to engage in and contract their social lives. Conversation analysis on its own, he argues, does not tell us all there is to know about human social life.
And the last speaker, Nur Ainun Mapiwali, time is yours.
Well, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, for moderator, thank you so much for the chance that you give me. I'm Nur Anamfwali will give explanation about a sample study that talking about refusals. So here I take the results from Kitzinger and Fried 1999, provide an example of a study which draw and conversation analysis and other data source to examine what the speaker say. Why they say it and how why they say it's taken up by other people. There are studies about how women communicate, as well as fail to communicate to the men that they don't want to have sex with them. That is how women refuse unwanted sex. Their study commences with an examination of how the conversation analysis literature says that people typically refuse offers. As we have seen earlier in this chapter, an offer may be followed by one of two possible second pair parts, an acceptance or a refusal. The acceptance is the preferred second pair part to an offer, so it's less complex than a refusal. It's usually immediate and involves the use of a direct speech act, and is the preferred second part to an offer. It's thus usually more complex, often direct and less immediate. The refusal often involves the use of delay, accounts, heads, and preface before the speakers get the actual refusal of the offer. Thus, telling a woman to just say no to a wanted sex goes against how people normally care about refusals, and may not indeed be read by the other person as a refusal, for just the reason. Kitzinger and Fried then interview women who talk about having refused unwanted sex. In response to advice to just say no, the women show an awareness of how they should normally perform and of a threatening sex refusal in conversation, and that this requires much more conversational word than just a simple no. One of the respondents said, "It just doesn't seem right to say no when you are up there in the situation." This source from Kitzinger and Fried 1999. In their study, Kitzinger and Fried point out, telling a man that you don't want to have sex by saying things like, I really don't know if we should do this, or not now, can we wait, or I really like you but I'm not sure. That can be misconstrued that you need a little more urgent to become cooperative. This was from Wiseman 1994 in 65. The women in their study know that just saying no wasn't enough for a refusal in this kind, or indeed most kinds of situations. Kitzinger argued that men who claim in a date rape situation that the woman's delay in refusing means they really mean or yes. Claiming not to understand perfectly normal conversational interaction and lying claim to impossible. Unclear self-interested ignorance of normative conversational patterns. Also, this source from Kitzinger 2000. And then, at Kitzinger and Fried 99 argue that women's experience tell them that just saying no in revision and over is rude, and that the word no is neither sufficient nor necessary for a refusal to be heard as such. Is not. They argue the adequacy of the woman's communication in this kind of the situation that should be questioned, but rather the male partners claim not to understand that these women are refusing sex. Their study then is one that exploits the level of detail provided in conversation analytic work, as well as data from other sources for social, educational, and political purpose. That is, talking to women about how they can say to unwanted sex. So I think enough. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, so that's all our explanation about discourse and conversation. I hope you can understand as good as possible about our explanation. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you can enjoy it, and thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.